listening to the Deep Purple Podcast, a fan podcast devoted to one of the greatest bands in rock history, Deep Purple. Your hosts, Nate and John, cover their shared history with the band, discover new music together, and cover the farthest reaches of the Deep Purple family tree and beyond. Here's Nate and John now.
Welcome to the Deep Purple Podcast, a fan podcast devoted to one of the greatest bands in rock history, Deep Purple. Today's episode is episode number 323, Deep Purple, Knebworth 85. And coming to you from the suburbs of Chicago, where we have the worst air quality in the entire world, I'm your host, Nathan Beaudry.
And coming to you from the suburbs of Providence, I'm your co-host, John Pink Matola.
Oh, so you're not in an absence of pink. You're in an abundance of pink.
Well, I think I have a little bit in my tank top here. I think it's mostly blue, but actually the title made me think about when I embraced wearing pink when I was younger. Because, you always thought of pink was like a girl's color.
Girls. And if men wear it, it's salmon.
Or dusty rose.
I haven't heard that one.
But yeah, I remember buying this polo shirt, and it was like this. It was like a neon pink. It wasn't even like subtle.
You couldn't even get away with calling it dusty rose.
No, and yeah, and I remember I showed up to wherever I was, and like you could imagine Pops' reaction. Oh,
Yes.
that was the exact noise. Oh, but yeah, it's wear whatever color looks good on you. Who cares?
Exactly. Don't be bound by the restrictions of gender norms or whatever. Yeah, so we got like the wildfires going in Canada again. And it's not as bad as last time, but they said on the news yesterday that we had the worst air quality in the entire world. And I was like, oh, that's great.
Yikes.
It looks like by the yesterday it was labeled as 145 unhealthy. And now it's merely 111 unhealthy for sensitive groups.
So do you have a like a air purifier or anything in your house or in rooms in your house or anything?
We have a couple of them just for like dust, and then we have like a filter in our air conditioner, but I don't know what it's gonna do. Yeah.
What does anything really do?
I mean, yeah, at this point, the world is on fire, as a wise man once said, and not much you can do, especially if you go outside. But hey, folks, we're here with a live stream episode, one of the many benefits afforded to our patrons. So we got people from all over the world. People coming in from Crete. First time listener in Crete, I think. Well, not a first time listener, but first time someone has been in Crete listening to our show. One of our faithful patrons. So yeah, we've got folks from Texas, Crete, the UK, more of the Midwest than what I encompass.
Providence,
Rhode Island. Nothing unusual there. Oh, the UK euphemism for pink would be coral. That's a good one too.
Okay.
Yeah, I've heard that one too. That's a pretty good one. But yeah, the reason pink is because this is in the absence of pink, which is the recording of the Knebworth 85 show. We'll get into that in a little bit. Thank our patrons first, and we're gonna get right into the music because it's a long performance, and we'll probably do some of our segments from the performance. But we want to make sure we cover the whole thing. Our show, as you may know, is 100% listener supported and ad free. So if you receive some value from our show, consider giving us some value back. You can support our show by leaving us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. You can buy some merch from our Etsy store, or of course, become a patron on Patreon or on PayPal for as little as $1 a month. Help support the show, help us buy albums like the one we're discussing right now, and help us keep the lights on, as it were. You can also support us on Cash App, on Ko-fi, and Super Thanks on YouTube. So if you're on YouTube right now, smash that Super Thanks button and we'll get a shout out on the next episode.
I feel like not with the super thanks, but I feel like you saying smash that like button is at this point the equivalent of us being really uncool. Like I feel like if one of your kids was down here, they'd be like, "Dad, nobody says smash that like button anymore."
I
And
think
you were
they
like,
still do.
"Didn't they say that like a couple of years ago?"
Yeah, maybe they're onto something else. What else would you do to a like button?
Click it.
Click that like button.
I don't know.
Those cool kids.
I don't know. I
Make
just
sure
like
it's a left click and not a right click, and don't right click save as, because then you're just gonna have a picture of the like button.
Hey, I know that I do like I think I was talking to Rich about this. I think it was Rich, and we were talking about like how like when you take your phone and you go like this and you go
Oh yeah.
with your finger, you just do that kind of slow swipe up, and I'm like, oh god damn it, I think I do that now.
My dad, I swear, he's like his arm.
Yeah, I don't know why do older people do. My mom does that too. She'll go like she'll tap, and then the last tap she'll go like, and then whip her arm all the way to the back wall, and I'm like, Jesus, calm
Like my
down.
dad's gonna like throw out his rotator cuff or something. But my dad has this tremens that my family has, so he's all shaky like this. He's like, ah, and it's like, and he's always like, ah, God. He's always just like muttering under his breath because whatever he's trying to do isn't working. But I feel like I'm halfway there at least.
Yeah.
So if you become a patron, you get access to our patrons only Discord, our ratings spreadsheet, invites for our live stream episode. Like right now, you could be listening live and chatting about Coral in the chat. Then we also get as a benefit link submissions for our live shows, our album ratings, and access to band episodes on Patreon. We just had a band episode recently. Well, actually, I don't think it's in real time. I don't think it's come out yet, but the next episode that comes out chronologically will be banned, so it'll only be available video-wise, I should say, on Patreon. So check that out. So speaking of patrons, we'll thank our first round before we get into it. And of course, that is our executive level coming in at the in memoriam tier, the wonderful late Jerry Kelly and family, who sent me some really good magazine articles years ago for this episode, so we can reference some of those. We have at the $25 Uncommon Man tier, we have Ovis, Nakvi, and Purple Maniac. At the 20 is Plenty tier, we have Alan. At the 10-pound Good Doctor tier, we have Dr. Mike Catan. And at the turn up to $11 tier, Clay Wambacher, Frank Thielgard Mortensen, Mickelstein, Will Porter, PhDPP, and Michael, don't call him Bradford Bagford. At the $10 Someone Came tier, Ryan M., Jeff Bryce, Victor Campos, Better Call Saul Evans. And Peter from Illinois. And at the Deep Thoughts by John Matola tier, we have the wonderful Fielding Fowler.
And now, Deep Thoughts by John Matola.
Silly title, but great song. I got kicked out of the spreadsheet.
It's all about the awkward pauses. Sorry, my mouth is apparently not awake yet this morning.
Yeah, it is. It is about my awkward pauses. I think that's my thing.
It's John's thing is the awkward pause. Speaking of rankings, our next ranking show is Who Do We Think We Are? So if you're a patron, jump into that spreadsheet, smash those moderately like, or don't like buttons, and rank those songs from 1 to 7. Who knows what will be the 7th ranked song on Who Do We Think We Are?
Who knows what'll be last, especially what I will rank last.
Yes, we'll see where its place in line is.
Hey-o.
Hey-o. Okay, so here we are. You may know this as the Knebworth show. I'm sure it's like Knebworth if you're British. The British folks in the chat can correct me. We'd say Knebworth in the South here. Ralphie might call it Knebworth. He's like, I'm not a rich man, and I ain't your friend, Rich, neither. But Knebworth, I'm sure Knebworth 85. So the interesting thing about this show is this was the only show that was done in 1985 in the UK. So Deep Purple, huge comeback, biggest band in the world at night. Well, second biggest after The Boss, I guess. In 1985. Lord Logford says Worth, not Worth. So Knebworth. Or if you're from where me and John are from, Knebworth. Hey. So yeah, this was the only show announced in 1985 tour in the UK, in which is obviously where they're kind of biggest, obviously where they're from. So a lot of grumblings about like, oh my God, this is the only show. But a lot of people were like, well, shit, we gotta get to go see them.
But Jesus, almost at that point, almost 20 years in existence and still not getting their due from the UK.
Yeah, it's like, what's going on here? Like, it's crazy.
Oh, well. They're lost.
This is Saturday, June 22nd, 1985. So this is going to be released, I think, on the 21st. So almost exactly 40 years after the date it was performed at the Knebworth House. The lineup starts with Alaska, featuring the one and only Bernie Marsden. Mountain, Mama's Boys. Have you heard of them?
No, I don't think so. Do you know who's in them? Anybody or
I don't know.
Heard of? No. Okay.
Blackfoot, which is a band I've heard of, but I don't. It's like a one of those southern rock bands, right?
Yeah, I've I've heard some of this stuff before. Some of it reminds me of kind of a Grand Funkish type of stuff a little bit. So yeah, pretty good.
I wonder if I heard maybe there's some songs by them I might have heard, but UFO, Meatloaf, Scorpions, and then closing it out, Deep Purple, the reunion. So pretty big. They got about 70,000 people in attendance. They got a license for 120,000. They had this like huge security bill. They almost weren't able to pay things. They almost got canceled like a week before. All this drama that kind of went into it. Tickets for the show at a face value of £12.50. Not bad for seeing that lineup, an all-day thing, even in today's dollars. So the arena opened at 10 a.m. Alaska was on at 11:45, with Deep Purple slated to go on at 9:30.
After dusk, conveniently.
Yeah, imagine that. I wonder who organized that. And I heard that there was kind of a delay between Scorpions and Deep Purple, but I don't think it was entirely dusk related. But yeah, that's it. So this was broadcast. They did this like broadcast the night before, which is actually kind of cool, where they played like snippets from all the different bands, like played interspersed interviews, songs from the bands, like following the lineup order, which is pretty cool. I got a recording of that, which is kind of interesting to listen to. And they've got a bunch of interviews with Deep Purple, but it's mostly about like the history of the band. Then the day they recorded the show and then broadcast it the following week. And I guess everyone except Scorpions gave them the permission to broadcast it. So they broadcast everything except Scorpions.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's where I don't know why they didn't want that happening. Scott Haskin mentioning that Meatloaf did the gig with a broken leg. So,
So how much did you say the tickets were?
£12.50.
Okay, so that would be, I was just curious. I looked that up. That would be equivalent in today's US dollar to be almost $17.
That's it?
Yep.
Adjusted for inflation, though. Now you got to do an inflation calculator from 85 to 2025.
Yeah, let me look. Do you say you do have one, or?
I know there's one that's the inflation calculator. That's like the government inflation calculator that works on everything from like 1913 on or something.
So actually, when was this? 1985?
Yep.
All right. So let me see. What did I say?
You said
17.
Roughly $17.
All right. So that would be well, still that same item would cost $32 in today's with inflation.
You couldn't even get a hamburger at a show for $35.
Jesus Christ! I mean, still that would be I would still. That's one of those rare things. I would pay that in today dollars to go see quite easily. I'd look at the whole Deep Purple New England contingent and be like, "It's on me.
Yeah,
I can
yeah,
afford
exactly. You could take all of us for less than it would be for just your ticket. Yeah. Scott Haskins at $72.50 with Ticketmaster fees. Yeah, probably closer to $100.
Good point. Good point. Well, face value. Let's just say, for the sake of argument, face value.
Yeah. So we want to make sure we get through the whole show. So let's kick right into it.
Yeah,
I'm going to start right up. So what I've done, they released this as In the Absence of Pink, which will make more sense as we get into the show, what that comes from. But they did not include two things that were broadcast. One was the song Under the Gun, and the other one is they play this like intro of Woman to Tokyo, which Scott actually covered on his show. They would do a lead-in to Speed King, which was Woman from Tokyo, and they said kind of on the interview that they would play it until they kind of didn't remember any more of it, and then they would go into Speed King. So it's not like the whole song. It's like 2 minutes of that. So they had cut both of those out for In the Absence of Pink, but we're going to listen to it in its entirety as it was broadcast. Got this from someone who sent it over. I don't know if they want their name mentioned, but they sent over this link to this spliced together version that's got the radio stuff on it, which is really cool. So here we go. The opening to In the Absence of Pink. Sorry.
This is just the audio, no video.
Just audio. And this they only had like crews on hand to do like just like a few like live TV spots. So
I was kind of hoping this would be a video.
Yeah, me too.
Oh well.
It starts off with the toccata and fugue in D minor.
If you think about it, it's kind of wild to think like in 1985 that there would be a huge rock concert with this being the opening. Like that would be like this big. Very cool.
Well, I guess if they knew what they were getting into. So not surprisingly, opening with Highway Star.
Good energy.
Well, it's very interesting because there's people here who hadn't seen them in so long, and then there's people that are seeing them for the first time that got into them after they broke up. So by this point, it had been raining all day. Everyone's soaked. And they said there started like a mudslide that kind of started going down the hill towards the stage. People had been drinking all day, freezing cold, throwing bottles in mud. And it was pretty much of a mess. And I gotta find some. I should share some other pictures here too, because at this point, John Lord's organ is covered with like pieces of plastic and everything to try to keep it dry. I mean, they were protected by something overhead, but not enough from all the wind blowing and everything, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's gonna be crazy. I like even think like even when I was younger, like the idea of a concert like this was like such a horrible thought to me. Like whenever anybody talked about like the original, but whenever anybody talked about the original Woodstock, like the second Woodstock that came in the 90s, like stuff like this, it was like, you know, oh yeah, it was raining and mud, and it's like so romanticized. And I'm like, even when I was like 18, I'm like, oh, that sounds fucking awful. Like, never mind like a fucking old man, like.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm like.
My dad went to Woodstock, and even hearing his stories about that, I'm just like, oh, there's nowhere to pee, and there's in a tent, and you don't shower for 3 days, and I'm a simple man.
Yeah, I agree with Scott in the comments. Is that their tempo on this is very, compared to I think what we hear these days, is very fast.
Yeah, you think so? I can hear that.
I like it though. I think in the 80s too, a lot of bands like this is one that comes to mind. A lot of their tempos, especially their 70s songs, were considered very fast, and I just think that was something that they, older bands did in the 80s.
Yeah,
they upped their tempos a little bit.
Ramones style, Raph Calf said.
2, 3, 4.
So this gives me fond memories though of like the album that no one else has fond memories of, Nobody's Perfect.
Yeah.
The much maligned live album.
I mean, that poor album didn't have a chance against Made in Japan.
No. Well, I think that's the problem. They compare it to Made in Japan. Like, let's compare it to the album that even non-Deep Purple fans say is maybe the greatest live album of all time. It's not fair. So this is the first time in the UK they got to hear Big Fat Tires in a while.
True. Yeah, since Coverdale changed the words.
So people that were there says there was about an hour gap between Scorpions and Deep Purple, but I think most of that was setting the stage up and everything. They go into Nobody's Home. So any of the pictures you'll see from this show, there's some points in the day, I think they said one of the bands, I forget what I was reading, it might have been Blackfoot, like it was the only time it stopped raining and the sun came out for a few minutes. But most of the shots you'll see are people in umbrellas. And there's that famous shot of Richie with the umbrella and his guitar and wearing these big rain boots, or wellies as the UKs will call them. You can see right there on the shot that they picked for In the Absence of Pink. Although the words are carefully covering the stage, so you can't tell if it's is that even when probably not when Deep Purple was on because the sun is out. And then you see the concert bills behind that, which that would be a nice one to have, that Deep Purple at Knebworth. somebody on eBay must be selling that. I'm searching right now. Although those things are like hard to get down, they just kind of like paste them up.
Gillen's voice cracked a couple of times there. Do you hear him?
Yeah, I've heard that this maybe was not his finest hour. He was struggling a little bit.
Mixing this is really good. You can hear everybody really well.
It is good, yeah. I mean, they were recording it for broadcast, and it sounds that way.
Like during the solo, I really appreciated how I could hear Roger grooving along.
Yep. I cannot find this concert poster. Ken Hensley was in Blackfoot? I guess they're not a Southern rock band. Oh, they're from Jacksonville, Florida. Ken Hensley was in Blackfoot?
Go figure.
They lost their Southern rock status when he joined. The Southern Rock Consortium met and had them kicked out. Coming out with a bang so far.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, everyone. You've been amazing. Woo! It's been a long time. Thank you. You're amazing. Thank you for all this weather or whatever. For staying so long. Sorry to keep you waiting. You're amazing. Amazing. Thank you. We're going to do some the older songs here tonight, and
Yeah!
Like you better.
we've all been doing different things over the last 10 years. Personally, I've been studying languages and become something of a cunning linguist. A master of many tongues. So tonight, I'd like to introduce each song in a different language. This one, in French, this is a story about somebody we met outside the Turkish embassy some years ago. And she had terrible troubles with arthritis. In French, this song is called Strange Kind of Running.
Said it in a French accent.
He's like, hee-haw, hee-haw. He's going to introduce a song in every language. There's a future singer who couldn't do that.
My Czechoslovakian is not so good.
At least not in Czechoslovakian.
So there's a lot of cool websites about this show that you can find. I'll have links in the show notes. It's those old school websites that look like they're from 1998. Black background, fluorescent green print, and bright giant red letters. I love it. But there's like a lot of like eyewitness accounts. So if you want to read some of those, you can check it out. So this is what you would have heard on the radio on June 29th, the following Saturday. So you said that Tommy Vance came out on stage between the sets, and as people have been there for like 12 hours and Deep Purple still hadn't taken stage. They were throwing bottles and mud at him. Poor guy. Poor bastard. The guy who announced to everybody, hey, Deep Purple's getting back together. And they're like, boo, throw mud at this man. This would be amazing if there was a video for this. Although I don't know if they, even if they had planned on recording it, if they could with all this rain, I guess they would have had to cover themselves in bags like John's Hammond.
Listen to Richie doing his friggin' Snake Charmer solo instead of the classic solo. That was a choice.
Richie does what he wants to do.
Yeah, I was going to say, prior to that, just listening to the first half of the song, I mean, if you didn't tell me what year this was from, I would have guessed it was a performance from the 70s, like during their first run.
Easily, they sound great.
Sounds good. But yeah, I say, like, I agree with Raph, is they sound, did he mean to say they sound out of practice?
Yeah.
I was going to say maybe just because of that solo, because it sounded like Richie was kind of noodling around, like, I can't remember what the fuck I played 10 years ago. Like, I'll just go, meh. You know.
Oh, here he goes.
Yeah, we might hear Gillen get warmed up later on in the show. We'll see.
Or maybe they were too warmed up with, who knows if they were drinking backstage. It's going to be tough when you're there for 12 hours and then you have to go on. No matter what you do, I feel like you're going to go on cold.
True.
There was something I was reading on one of these things too, that they had this big thing like, no camping, you can't camp here and everything, but people did anyway. And that Gillen was like walking around the campsites like the night before and like chatting with people and stuff. Some people said they had run into him. Just kind of cool.
That'd be cool. Well, let's see what they do here.
He's really trying to throw him off right off the bat.
Yeah.
It sounded like he didn't recognize it at first. He's like, what are you doing?
It's like, oh yeah, I was in that.
Yeah, but he didn't sing it.
And all these years later, he finally plays the part of Judas.
Yes. Finally gets his wish. Good stereo effect on the drums.
Yeah.
He's like,
Richie's like, what am I supposed to do with that?
He sounds angry. I think Richie signed on to the live stream for a second. Someone with just the initials RB signed on for like 20 seconds and then signed off. He's like, these guys suck.
Never know.
Wow, it's a delay. You sound like Jack Black there.
Well, don't forget, he was also coming out of his Born Again era, so
It's true.
you know the scream laugh was something that he did quite a bit during that era.
His Born Again era. Should have the Gillen Eras tour.
They go Born Again, Gillen's version.
It's actually mixed decently. Gillen Eras.
Thank you very much. This one is what we all need now is an enormous amount of pink. That would all do us very well. But in the absence of some pink, here's some blues for you.
See what he did there?
I see what he did there. What do we think that means?
I don't know. What we need is an enormous amount of pink.
Yeah, in the absence of pink.
In the absence of pink, we'll have some blues. But
Or maybe pink being, symbolic of a good weather.
that's what I was thinking, but that doesn't make any sense. Because it would be like blue sky.
Well, I don't know, pink being kind of a warm, summery color. I don't know.
Or maybe it was like, well, no, it would have been like 9:30 at night. Maybe you'd have like a pink, like the sunset and everything. But it was probably just a cloudy mess.
Or if you put blue and pink together, don't you get purple?
I believe you do. If I can harken back to my
primary colors.
First grade art class.
Although that doesn't make any sense because they're all there in deep purple, so there is no absence of pink.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think we're overthinking it.
It's Gillen. Who knows what he meant?
Yeah, I can guarantee you he was already done thinking about it by this point.
You think he was done thinking about it while he was saying it?
I don't think he was thinking about it while he was saying it. Now we go into a Gypsy's Kiss. Cool way to loop in a couple of these new songs. Scott was saying he thinks they would have been in the hotel right up before the show, but I don't know, where would the hotel be? How would they get to the show? Unless they had a helicopter. I feel by the point the crowds are there, you're stuck. Hopefully they had better bathroom facilities. Scott's starting a Primary Colors podcast. It seems like you'd run out of episodes pretty quick.
Unless you did a Primary Colors ranking episode.
Ranking.
Just
blue,
keep
top. Can't touch blue. Yellow's coming in dead last.
You're going against yellow. Yellow's no place in line here.
Did you ever hear? Is it Kumail? I think it's Kumail Nanjiani does that bit about cyan.
Yeah.
He's like, how the hell did cyan get to be one of the 3 printer colors? He's
Yeah,
like,
he's
Cyan's agent was like, I got this great gig for you. He's like, you're going to be working with Magenta. And he's like, Magenta! He's like, and Yellow. Yellow! Yellow's a legend!
I would say overall, like the performance is really good. I mean, any imperfections you hear is like if it was done for a broadcast, then obviously there was no touch-ups,
Right.
right? And considering the weather, I mean, that could be forgivable.
They sound very comfortable, very relaxed,
Yeah.
but there's also a great energy behind what they're playing.
Yeah, exactly.
Putting yourself in the mind of someone who had been waiting, who had seen them in the 70s and been waiting all that time to see this lineup again, 12 years later. And then putting yourself in the mind of someone who discovered them. Maybe you were 8 years old when they broke up, and now you're in your 20s and you're getting a chance to see a band you thought you'd never see live. I mean, either way, that's got to be just so exciting. And the word on this, well, I was going to say rumor. It's not a rumor, it's a fact. U2 was playing the same night, so people had to decide between Deep Purple and U2.
I think the choice is obvious.
Yes, that would have been a no-brainer. For me, that would have been a very easy choice. I can't think of a band I'd less rather see than U2. But U2 was a huge draw at this point, and and I think they were playing indoors, so probably from a health standpoint and a comfort standpoint, it would have been better to see. See. Oh, it was Live Aid. Well, they said that was in July, so I don't know. No, they're playing Milton Keynes.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That's great. Cheers. We got this weird. The way the song was inspired is a weird story behind this. This is a story about a football team that got thrown out of their league for playing, drinking, and all that sort of thing. So they sat down in a little stadium in a small town, and they used to play games away, and they were known as the Rangers. And in fact, the street they had, this little stadium, was called Perfect Street, and that's the. I'd like to. So that's the story behind the song. It's called. It's just about a football team called the Perfect Street Rangers.
I know another one of Gillen's jokes.
Did you hear him though? He was like laughing at himself like halfway through. It's like there's a story.
And I guess this is a good time to play because this album would have been out for a year by this point,
Yeah.
So sometimes it's tough when if you're playing this reunion gig, and you're playing all these new songs people don't know as well, but people have plenty of time to really warm up to them. I love what John's doing in the background there.
Yeah. Kicking ass as usual.
He's just like grooving out to it in a way that, in a little slightly different way than what I'm used to.
Mm-hmm.
So Arthur Smith was upset he could not join us on the stream because we've been talking for years about how he was here. But he did send a note.
Oh, that would have been great if he was able to have been on for this.
Yeah.
Get that perspective.
But I got some notes from him I'll read in a few. He turned into like Lil Wayne at the end there. Yeah. Sounds like he's using like a different patch on this than normal. Or he's using the organ or something, I don't know. You can really hear that like high-end treble on Roger's bass. I wonder what bass he was using at this time. I think I have a picture of him somewhere. Let's see. But he's like,
yeah,
it's like that like metallic like stabbing sound.
Yeah, very plunky.
Sounds great. I can only find the world's tiniest pictures right now that were from like websites from 20 years ago that have like 300 pixels wide. Wow, I found a website that's got great pictures from this, but they're all tiny, tiny.
Oh. So you can't tell anything from him?
No, you can tell he's holding a bass. And it's white.
Second Jesus Christ Superstar reference of the night.
Yeah, not bad. Ooh, a little flange for you.
It looks like they didn't add in that that part that they do at the end of the ba 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 ba.
Oh yeah.
And I really like that when they started adding that in during the outro.
Thank you very much. Cheers. That was a Perfect Street Rangers song. Which now and again you feel obliged to write about things that really piss you off. So this is one of those songs about all the god botherers and all the idiots that complicate our
You notice a slight difference in the audio quality because this is one of the songs that was cut out. So this is from the radio broadcast.
Oh.
Now this song I'd like to introduce in German, being a cunning linguist as I am, master of many tongues.
You guys ever have sex?
In German, the song is called Und down! The gun!
His different language, just bad accents.
I love it. Whoa. Radio broadcasters definitely more bootleg quality.
Yeah.
It's actually not terrible.
No. It's not bad. I feel like with maybe just a little EQ, you could probably make it match a little bit better, but it's still pretty good.
Yeah.
But you know us on the Deep Purple podcast, we're all about presenting these concerts in their original form.
As much as we can.
So for the most part, this is going to be the most complete way to witness this show since it was performed. And you just have to trade the rain and mud for these two knuckleheads yapping over it. So I'll put this link to these pictures in the show notes, even though they're tiny. Alan Perry is the photographer. If he has any contact information. What is
Screw fuckers.
something like that? Oh, while he's still at it, he's got photos from Arcade Fire. He's got photos from last November of Deep Purple. Wow.
Okay.
He's still using this terrible. They're so tiny. So I guess you have to contact him if you want a better quality.
That's probably it.
Like his main page of his website looks like a pro website, but his subpages still look like they were designed in the 90s. Cost per photograph, 40p.
P?
Yeah, 40 pence.
Ah.
Man, I'll just buy all the Knebworth photos at that price. Jeez,
Oh, it's 40 pence.
close enough to 40 cents, maybe 50 cents. I don't know.
Oh, jeez. Pence would be cents.
Yeah. PV Foundation base. That's what Kai is saying in the chat. Yeah, that looks like it. I have a PV base over there. It's funny to think John was ever using, or Roger was ever using a PV.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
It's weird that they would cut that one song out. Like,
You're amazing. Thank you.
what's the problem?
You are without any doubt. I'm sure you know it, but you must be told the greatest audience in the world. You are amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
If John was there, he'd be like, bullshit.
Here's one that goes way back. It's you
Oh.
know it anyway.
Already spoiling it.
You know this one? I forget the
Why are
title.
these guys so loud all of a sudden?
They sound drunk.
Yes, I'm sure they are. What else would they be at this point in the day? Who let these guys right next to the microphone? Wow, they didn't really do a warm-up into that one.
Are we still on the radio edit?
Seems like we're not. We shouldn't be. Damn, tight. Man, usually they do much more of a tease before they get into Lazy. This was just like an all-out, they just ripped out the riff.
Oh yeah, they are kicking it.
I can buy that PV Foundation bass for $499.99.
Or you could not.
Order it. Not the exact one that Roger's holding. If that was the case, I would have already submitted my purchase. This guy has pictures of Blizzard of Oz performing 1980 Coventry.
Nice.
Ozzy's wearing the tassels.
Is it the Blizzard of Oz band?
Yeah.
Now that's one I'd like to go back in time and see. Not the Aldridge Sarzo version, like the album version.
This is,
I know they did a short UK tour.
It's too bad because these great photos, but you want to see them bigger.
Well, cough up that 40 pence and you can.
I mean, this guy's got every band you could imagine. So if you're interested in photos, you should definitely check it out. John Lord, 2007 in Northampton. Oh, Paul Mann's there, Roger Glover. Huh. Maybe I'll contact this guy. Oh, Iron Maiden, 1980 in Reading. Steve Harris with the Beetlejuice striped pants. Pretty cool. One of my favorite bands, Hot Tuna.
Ah.
You remember Hot Tuna?
Ugh. This sounds gross now.
It does.
Yeah, it's like a 60s band, right? All psychedelic
Yeah,
and
Hot
shit.
Tuna.
Ugh.
I want to say my dad had one of their albums, but I always get them confused with Canned Heat, probably because of canned tuna. I don't know.
Probably.
It's interesting. I wonder how long they incorporated a drum solo into Lazy. Usually it's that vehicle for the early John Lord solo. Does he have like flange or something on his drums?
Sounds like it.
Kai says that he thinks Lazy is from the bootleg that's missing from the BB, so maybe this is bootleg as well. I thought it was just those two songs, Under the Gun and Strange Kind of Woman. But yeah, if they're going to cut anything, you know they're going to cut the drum solo. It says here Lazy is on... Oh, put in You Fool No One for a second.
Hell yeah.
It's possible they cut out that long intro and then the drum solo, I guess. It sounded like he was doing a little bit of the mule on the keyboards right there, too. He was like...
Mm-hmm.
It's about as much of the mule as I need.
Wow. Yay! Everybody loves it at once.
This one, I'd like
Ah,
to
there
tell
we
you
go.
about the song. I really
There we
would.
go.
But unfortunately, the whole content of the song is illegal, as well as every single word in it, every comma, whatever. There is not a single word or note in the song which is obeying any law at all.
Okay, so there.
It's like a pure blank, it goes like this.
So they must have cut out that bit of vocal. This is very well crafted to fill in all the missing stuff from the broadcast, or from the CD.
Yeah.
Ooh. Whoever was doing that whistling, that was pretty good.
That might have been Gillen.
Maybe.
It sounded like it was coming from on stage. Still one of like their heaviest intros. I love
Oh,
it.
it's so good.
Yeah, I agree with Raph here. They sound like they're getting a little tired here. Ah, his favorite new phrase.
Yes, only he said it like 6 times.
I'm a cunning linguist. He was like so proud of himself that he came up with that line. He's like, I'm going to talk about it as much as possible.
A master of tongues. It's like when you put it on the album, it's like, oh, it's a clever little line, but then when you draw so much attention to it. Did you hear what I said there? Did you hear what I do? I'm a master of tongues, get it? That would be great if we just did that.
You know, with like going like this with the peace sign, you'd be like,
that was like the biggest thing in the 80s. Like, I remember, like, Scott used to do that all the time. It's just like, come on. That was like the thing to do.
There was a lot of things to do back then that you shouldn't be doing.
So Arthur Smith said he liked Perfect Strangers when it came out, but it wasn't like that he agreed with Jeff Barton's review that it was a good album, but that it sounded a little out of context in 1984. Saying that he thought Rainbow had sounded more modern than this did.
Huh.
I mean, in retrospect, 40 years later, I mean, I feel like it seems to strike a good balance between being modern, but yet going back to that classic sound. But I couldn't tell you without having that experience of having gone through waiting for them to come back and everything, because I was 9 years old or whatever.
I mean, it seems like it's a solid Deep Purple reunion effort. It's taking the Mark II from the 70s and bringing them into the 80s, but comparing it to Rainbow, it's like, yeah, I guess sounds a little more tame, but I mean, different musicians were involved. Like I think their goal was different. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Gillan and JLT are like two completely different singers, lyricists.
And
for
Rainbow
instance.
had more of like that kind of slightly more polished AOR sound, whereas Purple never really well, they did have that later when JLT was in the band, but
not as successful though.
No. So he said his aunt, Arthur's aunt, was a teacher, a head teacher in North London, and said that he could stay at her place because he was in Edinburgh, and she had two younger female colleagues that were going to the festival, so she arranged that they would pick him up and drop him back afterwards. So he went there with 2 ladies. Mr. Smith. He said he was on the train. There was like a bunch of people there, but he thought they were all going to the show, but a lot of them were going to the U2 show.
Boo!
He should have booed them when they got off the train. Boo!
Boo!
What's
Boo
a U2 fan gonna do? Fight you? Come on.
Come on, guys, knock it off.
He said the support act seemed to drag. There were some big names. He said the 2 women he went with, their main thing they wanted to see was Meatloaf, but that he was terrible and that even they thought he was awful and that they wanted to leave after that. But he's like, oh no, if I've made it this far, we're seeing Deep Purple. Oh, and he said it was the day before his 25th birthday. Yeah, pretty good way to spend the birthday. He said the concert gave him a better appreciation for Perfect Strangers. And he played it a lot after that. And he looks forward to revisiting this when the episode comes out. Well, Arthur, we're sorry you couldn't join us, but you're getting the full experience here anyway, so. Except for the chat. You're missing all the witticisms in the chat. Ooh. He's trying to pick up a hot plate out of the oven. Ow! Ooh! Ah! Ah!
Sounds like from here they could go into the end of Child in Time.
Hey! Thank you! Thank you all. Thank you. That's great. Thank you. We just heard the weather report. The sun's coming out in about 10 minutes, all right? You're amazing. Here is a piece of music. Thank you.
A great intro. So this would be where it goes on to the next CD. And we open with Difficult to Cure. And some Richie noodling. You think Gillen was like kind of like, this is something he used to do with Rainbow,
Yeah, maybe.
and that's why he was like, this is a piece of music. Yes.
Take it.
It's like I couldn't even use my cunning linguist line. I was going to use it again.
He's like, I'm gonna go backstage until this is over.
The way Roger's bass is rattling, it sounds like it's like
Yeah,
Lord has like bracelets on or something that are rattling when he's hitting the keys.
probably.
Like a metallic sound. Jeez. I like how seamlessly they blended from difficult to cure into the keyboard solo. It's just...
Mm.
80s John Lord.
You're gonna start playing Jump?
Sounds like it. Whenever he goes to the piano, everyone always starts clapping.
No, there's something about the piano. People just love it. Gives you that old honky-tonk type of
Yeah.
feeling. I'm trying to look at this old GeoCities site about Knebworth Fair that I just found, and it just keeps giving me these, like... What?
I didn't even notice what it said on it. It's giving me these, like, totally scammy ads, but it's just all these, like, asses in my face. Just want to read about the Knebworth Fair. It's like these AI-generated ladies at a bar with their butts pointed towards you. And then it says something on top.
Because it's scandalous.
It's asking you which lady you would prefer, but not in such a delicate way. I'll put it in the chat. I want to say it on the show.
Jesus.
I feel like this is a benefit of being a patron. You get to see this crazy ad that I just got served. You see it?
What the?
So like I click on this website and it immediately like just brings up an ad. It won't even let me read the website. And it's a geocities.ws. Was that white snake domain? Maybe that would make
Coverdale's
sense.
behind that. Darling.
WS is Samoa, so they must have GeoCities Samoa must be trying to get some Western Samoa. A cunning linguist indeed. So this is an extended, typical extended space trucking, but not quite as long as normal, but pretty long. Oh, Raph was saying which one he would choose, but he didn't say which one. Which lady would you like to take out for a nice, to go play mini golf with and a wholesome date, Raph?
That was a good way of sneaking in what it actually said.
Left, right, or center? Yeah, that mini golf. Oh, sorry, everybody. Is somebody singing with him? Sounds like somebody was yelling, "Come on!" with him.
Yeah, but I think it might have been the organ.
Just the organ going, "Wow, wow!"
Yeah.
It's great that the only website I've found that has this Knebworth poster that I'm interested in is serving me these filthy ads.
He nailed that one.
Yeah.
Ha! Looking up an old rock show? You must be a horny old bastard who is into AI-generated pictures. I mean, hey. Kind of true. Hey,
I think Raph's onto something there. It's like, well, I wanted to find this poster from 1985, but how can I resist answering the question there? This riddle they have put me with. Which of these upstanding young ladies would you like to take on a date? All right, so I will take this opportunity to go to the next round of patrons.
There we go.
So I feel like Space Truckin' is good for that. Nothing against the instrumental of Space Truckin', that is, but we would be remiss if we did not thank our core level patrons. So, coming in at the $6.99 new nice price tier, we have Spike's Ghost and Sugar Tea. At the episode $6.66 tier, we have Steve Coldwell.
Steve.
Arthur Smith.
Getting support from the patron Arthur Smith.
Anton Glaving.
Pain in the glaving.
And Charles Meadows. At the $6.65 almost evil tier, we have Kenny Wymore and Richie Sucksmith. At the 70 Norwegian kroner tier, and on the live stream, we have the one, the only, Kai Runa Johansson. At the $5.99, the nice price tier, Robert Smith. At the 60 kroner Scandinavian Nights tier, DJ Newt Morton Johansson. At the €5.50 tier, Merlin Rota. And at the $5 moneylender tier, John Convery, German Heindel, Adrian Hernandez, Jesper Allman, Alexi the Perfect Stranger Slepikoff, Kev Roberts, Percival Frequency, Scott Zerns, Cynthia Doobie, Raf Kaf,
My Czechoslovakian is not so good.
Coyote Bongwater, John Maselli,
They're making salad dressing.
Sarah Sanders,
No, Kelly Clarkson.
Jelly Bean, Evan Robeson, and Purple Swede.
Sweet.
Thank you so much.
Sweet.
Thank you so much to all of you for your generous support of the Deep Purple podcast. Now we're back at you. Saturday, June 22nd, 1985, Knebworth House in the rain. Deep Purple, John Lord, organ covered with plastic. 70,000 people in the audience, each paying £12 and 50 pence. That's £875,000. So that would be basically $1.2 million. I don't know what Deep Purple was paid for this. Nice. So this would basically be $3.5 million in today's money that was generated by this. I don't know how much the bands got paid. I'm assuming Alaska probably did not get paid as much as Deep Purple. Oh, Richie's on to some of his weird stuff. Is it part of the solo or is it technical difficulties? Oh, the leaf blower's back? The way you just looked, I thought the leaf blowers were going to be here.
Nope, lucky for them.
Should have used this part for the for the patrons.
I know, right?
I think this was at this phase he was into doing a lot of stuff like this, because I know there's this video on YouTube is like, is this the worst guitar solo of all time? And it's like Richie Blackmore doing a bunch of stuff like this.
I mean, it's just him screwing around.
It's very possible he's using his boots to play this. Oh, I actually got the site to load up without the crazy
The crazy sex
ads.
AI.
Sex ads. Unfortunately, it's a very small picture of that poster. He said, this was the first rock festival I went to as a boy, and it was wet. It was the middle of the summer, but it felt like the middle of autumn. I remember being cold, tired, and bored by most of the bands on the bill, apart from Blackfoot with their American Southern Boogie. Meatloaf fell on his arse as he has a plaster cast on. Bloody awful set. When Deep Purple came on, it made the wait worthwhile. The classic Mark II lineup had reformed the year before, and here they were back in their homeland playing live classics like Highway Star, Black Knight, and soon-to-be classic Perfect Strangers. Spoilers, Black Knight's coming. Richie Blackmore came on and played in his Wellington boots. This was the first of many Purple gigs that I was to go to, but this was the best. For 2 hours, you really did forget about the rain. After the gig, they forgot to put any lighting out for the mugs who saw the concert. Everyone was slipping in the mud on the way back to the campsite. I did read that before. They were just like, concert's over, shut off the lights, and everyone's in this dark, muddy field to try to figure out where they're supposed to go.
They're just like, yep, good luck, you stupid. Good luck, dummies.
So he said the mugs who were hey, you mugs, find your way home. That seems absolutely disrespectful and just bad planning. Like, hey, like some guy chomping on a cigar. Hey, those lights cost money. Turn them off. We already got these. We showed them the concert. No, we didn't tell them they could get home.
That's their problem.
So I'm going to put a link to this page in the show notes with a disclaimer that you might get served graphic ads. May contain what's the best way to put may contain
salacious AI photographs.
Salacious AI what?
Photographs.
Okay.
Or simulations.
There we go. AI simulations of upstanding young ladies' derrieres.
It's about as delicate as you could have put it.
Yes. Ah, crap.
What?
Don't click on anything on the screen, though. I clicked on something just on a blank spot, and it gave me another ad. Still trying to get that hot plate out of the oven. So this goes into... So that's the end of the set, I guess, and then that would go into the first encore upcoming. Lord Longford said, I'd like to think the light starting off was Blackmore's largest scale prank.
Probably.
He just walked by and he saw like the big cable and he just kicked it with his boot out of the socket.
Whoops.
Okay, so this is what they start off with Woman from Tokyo. And they play as much of it as I can remember before the crowd starts demanding. Yeah, maybe I'll put a link in the show notes of the Rockline interview where he explains that they didn't really remember the song, so they'd play as much as they could remember. Sounds like he's struggling there.
A little bit.
Nobody wants to hear this. They want to hear Speed King. Oh, here we go.
This is the saddest, most miserable, depressing, agonizing song we ever wrote. In fact, we only ever played this song once because we were so depressed after we played it that we all went out and decided not to do it again. This song was a bad seed. It fell into a stony path, and in fact it grew in the rocks and the filth and everything else. It's certainly the most depressing song I've ever heard in my life. It's very slow. It's a ballad.
He's really amusing himself.
He's cracking himself up. It's so funny when he goes from speaking to singing so quickly. It sounds like two different people. It's a great way to get the crowd pumped. This is the most depressing song.
Going.
He had like an idea for something, but he's like, oh shit, I don't have enough time. It's like, this is too fast. We've all done that with like a fill or a little thing. Oh, I'll throw this in there. Oh no, I didn't have enough time to do what I thought I could do.
Sounded like he started to do a sweep, and then he's like, "Yeah, I take it back."
We haven't seen or heard rather a little back and forth with John and Richie like this.
Not yet.
cool because we get to hear a lot of this from Don and Simon these days.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that DNA of Deep Purple is still there, you know?
Mm.
I just did that, like, you know, like a picture of Dio doing that. He's like, you know which one I'm talking about? It's a picture of Dio. You can tell he's just being like, hey.
I think I've seen it before. Bring it out as Italian roots.
Oh, I found it. It's him and a bunch of mooks all doing the same thing.
A bunch of mooks.
It's probably one of those early bands he was in, where they're all like, yay! There it is. I'll put it in the chat. You're really getting a treat in the chat today. First you see a bunch of ladies' butts, now you get to see Dio going, hey!
Oh, look at him, young Dio.
Oh yeah, Lord Longford saying he's expecting Woman from Tokyo to break down into Buddy Holly. One of these days I keep forgetting to put it on the list, but I mean it's on one of the lists, but one of these days we actually have to do Nobody's Perfect. We should have Paul on for that one. See if Paul will join us.
You know what? That's right. We haven't done that.
You talked over it, but they did a little burn there.
Oops.
Sounds like Richie doesn't remember how to play it. I wonder if the crowd expects Gillan to come out and sing it.
I would.
Yeah, I think they're all playing it and like looking to their side, like, does Gillan notice yet? And then when he looks up, they're like, okay, stop. Even Richie doesn't want to push it with that. I mean, I like that they put in stuff like that and do like a little taste of Burn, you know?
Yeah, but you know Gillan would never sing it.
Oh, here they go. He's like, I'll sing this. I'm not singing Burn. But the crowd would not have necessarily known that Gillan is not going to bust out Burn at this point. It's been well established in the last 40 years that that's not happening.
Right.
But it would be hilarious if, like, next year they bust it out. You know, just like after all this time when nobody's even considering it. It's like, yeah, we're gonna do like 4 tracks off of Stormbringer in our next show. Yeah, it's a good. Raf Calf says, what are the chances? How high are the chances he even knows the song? Like, does he even get what they're playing? You know? If you listen to what he says and believe him, he claims he's never heard those albums, so.
I mean, probably heard some stuff from them, but I mean, sat down and listened to them all the way through. I believe he's never done that.
with headphones on and like nobody else in the room, no distractions. Giving his full attention, just staring at the album cover.
Like, yeah, these guys are pretty good.
That'd be great. It's like, you know what? It's been 50 years. I'm going to give this one a spin. That was good. That sounded straight off the album.
Yeah. Yay!
What was that? It sounded like thunder.
Fireworks?
Is it fireworks?
Either that or some of the circuits are blowing because of the rain.
It's like perfect timing. Well, don't worry. There's still more encore to come. He does on this GeoCities website of Doom. He does call the song Black Knight Knight, which is a common thing you see.
Black Knight.
Crap! I accidentally. Oh.
What?
Be careful, folks, when you click on
Oh
anything.
God.
On this.
I should have guessed.
The poor bastard who made this site in 1999 had no idea what Western Samoa was going to do with GeoCities. I love it. It brings up this ad that says it's from MSNBC. And let me just say, I don't think so. Oh!
Jeez, Nate. What are you looking at?
Honestly, I don't know. I feel like I need to go back to Sex Ed to learn what's going on this site. Yeah, just be careful. I feel like, you know what I'm going to do? Save as HTML. And I'm going to, maybe I'll just put a link to that so you can, I don't want to be associated with this site. Well, this has got to be a treat. This is nothing. They never worked Black Knight into anything in Mark 2 or 3 or 4. So this has got to be a nice. I'm sorry, Mark 3 or 4. So this has got to be a nice treat for everyone. I love when he does that drum fill.
Sounds good. It's a good version of it. I'm actually not thinking about the background of the drunk stumbling guy from their current productions.
Oh man, I hadn't thought of it until just now. So according to this, the last time they would have played this, I mean, they would have played it in 1984, but for the folks that were here, the last time it was played live was in Japan in 1973.
Wow.
On the second to last show, I think. And then in England, it would have been February 28th, 1973. But they played it a bunch in Australia and New Zealand, the tour that led up to this. Oh, interesting. You know, the year they played Black Knight the most was 1997. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 1996. Listen to John and Roger. The do. They're throwing that little extra thing in. They're like perfect sync. Raf Kaff is warning me about my wife finding my browsing history.
I mean, if she did, I feel like the first thing she would be like, is this for the podcast? Like, even if it has nothing to do with it. Like, what kind of weird episode are you doing today?
And it's also like I'm browsing all these ads, thankfully not clicking on any of them. Oh, I remember you used to do this. Doesn't he do it on Perfect Strangers?
I don't know.
Teddy Bear's Picnic? All right. Well, I guess that must be it. There must be no more show left.
Nope, I don't think they have any more well-known songs that they have to play.
Thankfully, we
fans that they haven't seen.
Great if you said, thankfully, you played all of our well-known songs.
Well,
Nary a
good night.
song left.
And then Richie kicks the plug, all the lights go off, and
That'd be the best. They don't play Smoke on the Water. Richie unplugs the lights and they all screw off. These poor bastards will crawl home in the mud. Wow, they're really throwing in a lot of that flange. I keep looking at my track to see if I have accidentally put a phaser on or something, but nope. Sorry. Oops.
What happened?
Ah, crap. Sorry.
I was grooving along.
You'll have to re-groove. Here, let me find the Frank Zappa bit.
Never get to hear any live versions of this song. You ruined it. There we go.
You never play Smoke on the Water on this show.
Never hear it. Like one of their deep cuts.
The one time we get to hear it, it screws up. Burn down. See, they had a perfect opportunity to go into Burn there. They could have done a medley. Oh, Kai is busted into the ouzo. I love ouzo.
I don't know that I've ever had it.
I don't think you'd like it. It's like anise flavored.
No, definitely not.
I love it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that.
Sambuca, anisette, Pernod, and the French have Pernod.
I mean, I do appreciate the background there.
Oh, yeah, right. Jeez.
Like I'm into the vibe.
He's even got a little shot glass that says Crete on it. The ultimate tourist move. Well, it's got to be a pretty big upgrade from Norwegian weather in early June, right?
Love it when Richie does that.
Let the crowd do the work.
I don't know, the way you said it. Yeah, make the crowd do the work.
Yeah, let those mugs. They think this is hard. Wait till we turn off the lights.
Where's the fire?
Oh, it was in the sky. Thank you.
Where there's smoke, there's fire.
I gotta tell you one thing. This is really important. Can you kill that delay? Thank you. We didn't know how all this was going to work out about a year ago when we decided to put it all together again. We had two worries. One was whether we were going to get on. The other thing was how it was all going to work out with you guys. And I've got to say, you have made everything. You've made it all worthwhile. Thank you. Everything worthwhile. This is the highlight of the tour. Thank you. You've been amazing.
Especially for all you, because we're not doing any more dates in the UK.
I know every
Suckers.
single one of my mothers by name. I know that.
Say I know every one of your mothers by name. What is that? Is that like a football thing?
Could be.
That's crazy, man. They played
Fire in the sky.
so many shows in the U.S. before this.
Now come on, let's lift these clouds.
So what's with these clouds or what's with these clowns?
A fire in the sky.
I like to think he said clowns.
So they played 3 shows in Worcester and 2 in Providence, but only 1 in all of England. It's crazy. How did it work out that way? Me and John could have gone to see them. We would have had 5 opportunities.
Oh. Well, wait a minute. On this tour?
Yeah.
Yeah, if our parents would have taken us, since we were like 8 and 9.
If our parents would have told us about Deep Purple and then taken us. Big missed opportunity. But they even played a show in New Haven. We could have gone New Haven 3 nights in Worcester, 2 nights in Providence.
Well, I mean, I told, yeah, I've mentioned before that Pops has had Made in Japan,
Yeah, yep.
part of his album, so, you know, Pops was aware.
Oh, they played in Hollywood, Florida, one of our favorite places, at the Hollywood Sportatorium.
Sportatorium.
Sounds like something that would be in a Simpsons episode. Yeah, he's playing in the Sportatorium.
Homer would have one of his little flags that says sports on it.
Exactly. Sounds made up.
Woof.
Killer show.
Thank you all. You are amazing. Thank you every single one of you. Sitting through all this shit and rain and God knows what. It can only happen here. You are amazing. Thank you every one of you personally from all of us. We love you. And thanks for making it good for us. We love you. Thank you. Good night.
Yeah. Oh. His Fat Albert impression.
Ian Gillan on the vocals, John Lord keyboards, Richie Blackmore lead guitar, Ian Pace drums, Roger Glover on the bass. Deep Purple, Mark II, revived and rocking. Well, wherever you happen to be in the United Kingdom, era, or on the continent of Europe, or wherever, I sincerely hope you've enjoyed this Radio 1 special edition of the Friday Rock Show. Knebworth Through the Night. Thanks to the bands Alaska, Mountain, Mama's Boys, Blackfoot, UFO, Meatloaf, and Deep Purple. The recording and mixing engineers for the BBC were Dave Dade, Ted DeBono, and Martin Colley. Knebworth Through the Night was a Tony Wilson production. Mark Page will be reopening the network at 6 a.m. Till then, on behalf of everybody on the music side of Radio 1, my name is Tommy Vance. We wish you well. God bless. Good night.
Signing off for the night. I don't think he didn't mention Scorpions, I don't think.
Yeah,
And then
see,
they have
that's
the
fireworks.
How did they get these fireworks going in the rain like that?
If you like the Deep Purple podcast and would like to support the show,
Nate, jeez.
please consider joining
The
our
itchy trigger
Patreon.
figure there.
Oh, no, I didn't. I think I messed the whole thing up here.
Nate, what are you doing? You started off and your mouth was asleep. Now your hands are asleep.
No, there we go. Oh, okay.
Like,
For
I
some
don't know
reason
what
it
buttons I'm
started-
pressing.
I'm not. The funny thing is, I'm not pressing any buttons. But
Oh.
hey, before we wrap up, we of course have to thank our last, but certainly not least, level of patrons, and that is our foundation level patrons. Coming in at the £3.50 tier, we have none other than on the stream live right now, Lord Longford. At the £3 aromatic feed tier, Simon Ford and Richard Brees. At the €3.50 tier, Weston Supermare Pilgrim. At the 293 pence tier, we have
Blackmore Tights.
At the $3.33 halfway to evil tier, we have Stephen Sharp and Duncan Leask. Back to the classic. At the $3 Nobody's Perfect tier, we have Peter Gardeau, Ian DeRosier, Mark Roback, Stuart McCord, Ivan Fieldboo, Runar Simonson, Ruinous Inadequacies, and Corey Morissette. Then we also have Joe Dopefish Sigler, Adam Cork, Tim Wood, Steve Down to Earth Kohler, and Michael. And at the $1.71 I Want My Own tier, we have
Rich Yangui Shaylor. Who the hell is that?
At the 10 Cold Hard Danish Kroner tier, we have Karsten Lau.
Cold Hard Danish Kroner.
And at the $1 made-up name tier, we have the Cold and Rainy and Leaky Mausoleum, Stephen Somerville, the Concerto 1999 Fanatic, Hank the Tank, Private Eyes, Ashen Lionel, Zwapper the Electric Alchemist, Anders Engstrom, ICDC, Durple Purple, David Haddam, Graham Bonnet's Disco Pants and Haircuts.
I said, Graham, you know, our audience expects you to be a bit more dirty.
Disco Pants and Haircuts, yeah.
I'm just going to put my guitar across his head.
Eddie Lyon.
Homosexual.
And Sick Tone.
Where is she? Where is she? She's just about to close up the library.
Thank you for all of you, for all you do for our podcast. Week in and week out. We couldn't and wouldn't do it without you. All right. Looks like I missed a few messages in the chat. Oh.
A lot of it was us talking about food and drink.
I see Cacio e Pepe. And then Scorpions didn't like Gillen's Unda Sigun joke. Unda Sigun. Unda Sigun.
You're like, Unda Sigun, what?
Yeah, it was his amazing German accent.
Yeah.
Yes. So, wow. So what do you think? What are our takes on this concert?
I think it was a good representation of them at the time. I think it was a nice, like we were saying, kind of a raw, energetic show. Yeah, and I mean it's just I think taking into account too, the weather and that they went on later in the day and everything else that was going on. You could forgive some of those flubs. I mean, honestly, that's what I like about hearing these types of albums, radio broadcasts, bootlegs, whatever, is as good as official live albums are. You can't beat the untouched, kind of unofficial releases or, official but not doctored up releases. It's like, it makes them different. Yeah, it makes each one kind of unique. So I liked it. And I mean, I don't get to hear a lot of the Perfect Stranger songs live anyway, so I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, especially hearing stuff like Under the Gun, was just kind of, and what else? Nobody's Home, that Nobody's Home, I thought sounded awesome, like really good. Had a ton of energy right there. And it's, it's great hearing like what you would actually hear in a concert. You hear, you know, Blackmore is Blackmore. He doesn't play for perfection. He you know, sometimes he's wiping his butt on the instrument. Sometimes he's dragging his feet across it. Sometimes he's making weird staticky noises for 2.5 minutes. And he's doing all these, you know, falling down the stairs stuff and all that crazy stuff. But that's cool energy and whatever he's feeling in the moment. Yeah, Gillan's voice cracked a few times. Also, but who cares? It was all part and parcel of what you get at a live show.
Yeah.
And yeah, this sounded awesome. It must have been incredible to be there. Although I'm kind of glad I wasn't. It's one of those things that's way better after the fact to say you were there. It's just, yeah, I was there. I braved it through the lousy weather. But in the moment, I'm sure you're thinking, God, is this really even worth it? And yeah, 40 years on, it's one of those shows that I know early on when we started the show or started talking about it or ever mentioned it on social media, everyone that was there would chime in. I was there. This is where I was, and this is how wet I was, and everyone just kind of chiming in about the experience, because that's the cool thing about any concert is this, you're all living this shared experience with other fans. And when you get like something, you know, what is basically a bad set of events with the weather, that shared experience becomes stronger. You know, people that you worked with over the years and maybe went through tough times with, you have that bond with them. Like, oh yeah, I was there too through that difficult time. And yeah, it's a great performance. A big thank you to to the gentleman who sent it to me. Again, I don't know if he wants me to mention his name, so I don't want to mention it, but I don't know if, you don't know when you get these like edits like this, if it's like, is this edit? Am I supposed to have it? I don't know. But yeah, really cool how they spliced in those missing parts. And there really wasn't that much missing, but it's cool to hear it in its in completion. So, yeah, awesome time. Great time listening to this with our patrons. Thank you for everybody in the chat. Yeah, I guess we'll be back at you again next week with, well, you probably can, based on where this is falling in the lineup, you probably guess what next week's episode is. But if you're not paying attention, it's going to be a big surprise. So we will see you next week. Ciao.
Yes, we will. Yes, we enjoyed.
Ciao.
If you like the Deep Purple podcast and would like to support the show, please consider joining our Patreon or donating on PayPal. Patrons get full access to the podcast, Discord server, ratings, spreadsheets, and live stream invites. You can also leave us a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts to help new people discover the show. You can follow the show on Blue Sky, Facebook, Instagram, or Threads. You can also check out the website at deeppurplepodcast.com for show notes and more. Contact us via email at John or Nate at deeppurplepodcast.com. Thanks for listening.